We are live from the Atlanta Motor Speedway on NASCAR 21 Ignition for the final season race number 6 of 36. 79 degrees afternoon conditions, overcast skies set on the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500. In race number 6, we have so far seen only 3 different winners through the first 5 races completed. Ryan Blaney and Kevin Harvick with 2 apiece. Michael McDowell with a lone win at the Daytona Road Course. Will we see a 4th different driver punch their ticket into the 2021 playoffs today? We'll have to wait and find out. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content as we get into tonight's full race live stream with a live, realistic commentary as always. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this race, and we're going to go through tonight's starting lineup before getting started, of course, and we will be starting at the back once again today. No practice, no qualifying for tonight's race at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. We'll be starting from the rear. Kyle Larson will be on the pole. He has to be the favorite. Of course, he leads the point standings this season, still looking for his first win. He's got teammate Chase Elliott starting outside of the front row with him. Elliott has been strong so far this season as well. Chris Buescher and Corey LaJoie will line up in row number 2. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Bubba Wallace in row number 3. Stenhouse comes in with 3 top 10 finishes already this year and 2 top 5s in the first 5 races. Chase Briscoe and Kevin Harvick make up an all-SHR row number 4. Harvick, we mentioned, 2 wins on the year. And in row number 5 is Austin Dillon and Kyle Busch, both searching for the first wins of the season. So with that being said, let's get on into tonight's race and unmute everything now. Welcome into the stream, Tim Irvin, first down into the chat. And welcome everybody else that is watching here today. Our second to last NASCAR 21 Ignition live stream, I believe, before I go to Daytona. So, we're counting down the days. We're down to just a few days away. Trying to get to the remote. There we go. Now it's unmuted. We run in the stable setup for the start of this race today. We'll see how that's going to work. First time running the Midnight Advanced Auto Parts paint scheme as well. Actually, no, this is the throwback Advanced Auto Parts paint scheme that was ran earlier this year by Ryan Blaney. Or I should say last year by Ryan Blaney. 325 laps, 500 miles is the scheduled distance. We'll see if we can make it to the end of just this second 500-mile race of the year. Green flag is out. And we are underway at Hot Atlanta. Blaney trying to go from the back to the front as quick as he possibly can. The mile and a halves have been a struggle for the 12 team this season. Has not finished inside the top 20 on a mile and a half yet this year. Though he did win a stage in the last mile and a half race at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. He goes 3 wide to the inside. On the front stretch on Austin Cindric, David Reagan makes a nice pass on his teammate Cindric for position. Very bumpy Atlanta Motor Speedway. Going to be seeing a lot of tire wear in tonight's race as well. 105 laps will be in each of the first 2 stages of the race, meaning the final stage will be 115 laps, just 10 laps longer. So pretty much even stage lengths for all 3 of them tonight. Lenny with a pretty big run, gets to the outside of Matt Mills that time on the front stretch. And a look to the outside in turns 1 and 2 as well, potentially looking for a pass on David Reagan, Ty Dillon, Anthony Alfredo, and that just was never going to work. Christopher Hogan, Patricia Toms, welcome to the stream. He seems to be a little bit quicker in turns 3 and 4. Look at him get the cut in the center of the corner, diving underneath David Reagan. Now he's underneath the 96 as well of Ty Dillon. Anthony Alfredo right in front of him in the 38 car. Blaney holds that bottom lane. Car's not getting super tight in the dirty air, at least on the short run. Sure, it's going to get worse and worse as the tire wear continues to wear on. Blaney pulls low, deep dive into turn 3, makes a pass on Alfredo, and already 5 spots gained from the start of the race for the 12 team. Massive run onto the front stretch. Takes it 3 wide. Oh no, William Byron goes around trying to block the 12 of Ryan Blaney. Both cars are into the outside wall, heavy damage, and we have a caution for the first time today. Blaney had a run, went to take it 3 wide on the front stretch. Byron went up to block and he wrecked himself and the 12. It looked like he got ricocheted off of another car down to the bottom, which it was hard to tell who it was. I believe it was Kurt Busch and the 1 who got a piece of the 24. Hard hits into the outside wall for both drivers. My goodness. That is not the way you want to get things started off today if you are the 12 of Ryan Blaney. No fuel, no tires, and just going to be repairing some damage here. Trying to make for a quick stop, so hopefully Blaney doesn't go a lap down. Heavy damage, though, to the 12. Just bad block by William Byron in the middle of the front stretch, and already severe damage on the 12 of Ryan Blaney. He just had nowhere to go. He had a gigantic run. The plan was going to be to take it 3 wide to the outside, and that just did not work at all. A little checkup on the restart as he gets into the back of his teammate Austin Cindric. That's not going to help things either. As we go back to green flag racing at lap 11 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway following our first caution of the race. Yeah, the most recent F1 games have been pretty good from what I've heard. Oh, thank you for that also, Tim. Definitely a pretty cool moment as well. So the 24 and the 12 got significant damage. Look at how far back Blaney has already fallen. His speeds are definitely off. He was hitting about 178, 179 on his own going into the corner. Now he's struggling to hit about 175. So he's gone down a couple miles an hour. I have no clue when the next patch is coming. Sometime in February. I just don't know when. Supposed to have a patch where they're supposed to have the next gen cars for test sessions only, or some sort of a test session. The next gen cars, I think private lobbies are also in the next patch, if I remember correctly. Probably a bunch of other minor stuff. This is not the way Blaney had envisioned this race starting. The sad part is, was he being aggressive to make those passes? Yes, he was making them cleanly. But when he tried to make the move on Byron, Byron just threw a block and knocked both Blaney and himself into the wall. And now they're both riding around with damage already. Going to make for a long, long night for this 12 team. That's unfortunate. It's a 500-mile race. We're going to have to coast around here with a bunch of damage. You just hope that he's not even a lap down after the caution as well. Hopefully there was no scoring issues, especially this early in the race. They're not going to be able to just repair the damage like you could in the NASCAR Heat Series. I'll be repairing damage under cautions going forward in this race. Well, actually, I'm not even going to. I'm not even going to waste time with it because I know it's not going to repair anything. At this point, it's not going to be worth it. Yeah, you guys mentioned that Trevor Bain news down in the chat last night. I didn't see anything of it. I guess it was while I was live was when you guys had seen something about it. So I checked it out afterwards. Yeah, part-time schedule with JGR in the Xfinity Series. Be interesting to see what he could do. We do know a tire advantage would be very crucial at Atlanta. If there's any track on the circuit, this is the track to be able to try try to take advantage on fresh tires if he can get the opportunity. So you can definitely bet cautions going forward in this race, stage breaks going forward. Blaney will be pitting every time. We don't know if the rest of the field will or not. May try to make this a 2-stop stage as well. I think everybody else can make it on 1 stop. The fuel window is 50 to 54 laps, at least for our driver, Ryan Blaney, based off of prior races at Atlanta, both the career mode and the custom schedule season. Does seem like he's slowly closing in on cars at the back of the pack, but that's not saying much in the speed of this 12 car. That last lap was a 31.314. That's already 1.3 seconds off his fastest lap of the race with this damage. And if you count the caution laps, really, these guys barely have over 10 laps on their tires, which again at Atlanta makes a big difference. But you'd have to imagine that damage is definitely slowing him up somewhat. Again, he isn't really close to 180 miles an hour on corner entry anymore. 176 that time into turn 1. The only good news is he's able to hold it full throttle because of how much slower he's going. So maybe that'll help the mid-corner speeds as the tires fall off. But he's also got clean air around him, so who's to say in the dirty air with the damage it's going to be even worse. That was just an unfortunate set of circumstances early in the race. Again, Blaney could have not tried to go 3 wide to the outside to make that move on the front stretch, but the fact of the matter is not only had the run, but he had the room to do it. Felt comfortable doing it. If the 24 never moved up late on the block or even moved up before Blaney got there and made a clean block, that accident wouldn't have happened. That definitely was not the 12's fault at all. It was all Byron and the 24. It's sad, too, though, that Byron had a lot of damage from the accident also, but he still keeps his speed, and we're the ones that are lacking speed now. It's like the AI, when they get damage in this game, it doesn't faze them at all. And I don't understand why that's the case. Well, I understand why it's the case because it's this game, and we all know this game stinks, but excluding that, it doesn't make any sense. Julius Dunlap, welcome to the stream. Blaney will go to the outside. Be 3 wide in the middle of the corner. Potentially, at least. Not quite going to get to the outside of Matt Mills into the wall. After making contact with Mills, now he's stuck on the 36 of David Reagan. Not only Blaney's lucky he didn't blow a tire there, but he's also lucky he didn't just get turned off the front bumper of the 36 car. Just got to build that momentum back up again. It's just amazing how bad the car is in dirty air. And he got as tight as he did. Swings back down to the bottom, looking to make a pass on Quinn Houff in the 0-0. Has the advantage into turn 3 on the inside, and he will make the pass. I mean, based off the clash alone, I definitely like that you can make a lot of contact with the next-gen cars, not worry about blowing a tire. We kind of had that feeling going in to this season with the next-gen car. Full display of contact all over the place on a quarter-mile short track at the LA Coliseum this last weekend, so that is nice to see. As far as the actual racing itself goes, you can't really base that off of a quarter-mile short track too well because the racing between the Gen 6 cars and how they handled is very similar to how those cars would have handled on that racetrack. The speeds were going to be about the same anyway, so even with the horsepower package difference, just simply based off of the fact that it's such a small track. I mean, they're barely on the gas, barely 100% throttle on the straightaways because the straightaways were so short, if they were even 100%. So as far as the racing itself goes, we'll still have to wait and see. Again, the first intermediate track is going to be the big test. Obviously, Daytona 500 is going to be a big test as far as the super speedway racing goes. I think based off of what we've seen out of test sessions at Daytona in January, I do have faith that the super speedway racing is going to be really, really good with the package. I don't think it's going to be much different from the super speedway packages of the last couple seasons in the Cup Series. at Daytona, Talladega, potentially even Atlanta. As far as the intermediates go, we haven't seen an intermediate test where we've had a whole bunch of cars on the track for really longer than a dozen laps outside of Charlotte. And even then, we only had about a dozen cars on the track. So until we're seeing a lot of 3x3 racing right now, Blaney nearly getting squeezed into the wall. Making moves. She's got to hope that nobody throws a bad block on him like Byron did earlier on the front stretch. But yeah, as far as the intermediate track goes, you just have to wait for Auto Club, get a good test there. Auto Club and then Vegas, the second and third races of the season. You got a 2-mile fast intermediate track, and then you have a 1.5 mile standard. There's a lot of them on the schedule still, so those are going to be the first big tests with the next-gen car and what kind of racing we're going to see going forward. And if they knock it out of the park, and those are fantastic races, I have high hopes for the next-gen car over the next however many years we end up having it. I would have to imagine at least 10. Oh, contact with Anthony Alfredo. Nearly turned the 38 car around. Checked up a bit getting into turn 3. Blaney nearly turned him, so at least Blaney's making some passes with the damage. He's back inside the top 30. I think I see Byron up there, a few spots ahead of the 12. No, Auto Club's not going to be a short track till 2023. They had to delay the... It was originally going to be 2022, but because they didn't race there last year at all, they were still going to advertise another 2-mile race there, which is going to be this season. That, and I think they had to delay the construction because of COVID and how strict the state of California has been with it. With their COVID policy, so that kind of played into hand too. 14 people watching the stream right now. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content, live commentary, live streams, and much more. Like you're seeing here tonight, NASCAR video game wise on NASCAR 21 Ignition. Ryan Blaney to the inside of BJ McLeod, 2 and 3 wide pack further up ahead into turns 1 and 2. Blaney down on the bottom will be able to clear the 78 car of McLeod, no problem for 28. So even with damage, Ryan Blaney is making headway. You have to say, that's honestly pretty impressive, all things considered. It's getting a little tight in the dirty air, though. Has to lift behind Kurt Busch. Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch got a piece of that damage from earlier as well. Where will Blaney make his move into turn 1 to the outside, 3 wide. Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch underneath him. Corey LaJoie also towards the bottom lane. Busch had room to pull up, but actually he's going to go down to block LaJoie instead. Blaney again on the outside, 3 wide, making moves to Benedetto. Joey Gase underneath him. Blaney has barely enough room off the exit of turn 4, just hoping and praying he doesn't get squeezed into the wall again. Big block by Justin Haley. Going all the way back down towards the bottom now to block as well. Benedetto nearly gets into the side of Joey Gase. Gase lifts before he gets sandwiched between the 21 and the 12. Zilfer, welcome to the stream. I'm doing great tonight. Hopefully you're doing well as well. Hopefully I said your name right as well. Tyler Reddick towards the back of this pack right now. Blaney trying to get as much clean air on the front of his race car as possible, especially with the damage. Reddick had to lift behind Briscoe. To Benedetto on the bottom, a little bit more clean air, makes some passes. Ryan Blaney, again, making headway. Way up near the wall on entry into turn 3, getting all the usage of that asphalt he possibly can. Chase Briscoe underneath. Blaney's inside the top 20 now. He is clear of Chase Briscoe. And even with the damaged car, Ryan Blaney is making moves 3 wide on the outside. That was pretty crazy to say the least. Almost gets into Matt DiBenedetto, but he does turn to the bottom of the racetrack. And clear off turn 4 with a slide job on an affiliated teammate. I cannot believe Ryan Blaney has driven to 19th with this damaged car. There's a will, there's a way, and Ryan Blaney's trying to make that way through this field. Still has more cars behind him putting pressure on him. Blaney's got a massive run in the middle of 3 and 4. As soon as Almirola pulled down just a bit, though, you could see the 12 go up the track a bit, and he lifted, feeling as if it was going to pull all the way into the outside wall. Way out of the gas in turns 1 and 2. Truex trying to make a pass right now, I believe, on William Byron. Potentially 3 wide as they head into turns 3 and 4. And they are 3 wide before Truex throws the block on his teammate Christopher Bell. Blaney has a run. He passes Almirola. He's right behind Truex. Bell has a run. Blaney on the inside. Would like to get back to the top if he can help it. Reddick, Kurt Busch, DiBenedetto closing in from behind. Massive run for Matty D in the 21. Big block by Blaney on Busch. Oh, he got into the wall. A little tight in the dirty air behind the car in front of him. Very fortunate not to blow a tire. It's the second time Blaney has hit the wall today. Losing a couple spots because of it, but it's better than losing a tire. Four wide in turns 1 and 2. Blaney to the outside. I don't think they're going to make it. Off the exit of the corner. Oh my goodness, it's a good thing Blaney started going backwards, because I do not think that they were going to make that exit to turn 4, going 4 wide the way they were. But Busch and Reddick gave really no room to the 12 of Blaney. Benedetto lost a lot of momentum on the bottom lane as well and had to check up down the front stretch. Still 3 wide between Blaney, DiBenedetto, and Busch as Reddick drives on. He gets blocked down on the bottom by Almirola. Checking up the momentum there. Blaney with a run to the outside. Clears both the 1 and the 21. And he's back to the outside of Reddick for position as they battle for 19th. Crew chief's going nuts with the fuel situation, even though I know we've got enough fuel in it to probably make it a 1 stop now with the caution, I would have to imagine. I don't know if it's still a good idea to go 2 stops or 1 stop. The way that caution fell. Blaney's making good moves right now. Oh man, gets sideswiped by Almirola. He went down to the bottom lane. Didn't take enough momentum out of the 12 car, though. He still made a pass on William Byron for position. And back to the outside, 3 wide, into turns 3 and 4. Chastain, Bell to the bottom. Truex kind of getting away from this pack a little bit. Still 3 wide and tight on the front stretch. Blaney nearly gets clipped in the left rear by Byron. That would have been the second time those two have gotten together. This is just not a comfortable position to be in. Once again, you got the 2 most damaged cars in the field running right into each other. Byron gets turned. Another bad block on Blaney, and around goes the 24. That will bring out our second caution of the race. That time, luckily, Blaney didn't get a piece of the wall like he did the first time. William Byron has thrown some terrible blocks tonight. That's the second time he has now gone around. And Blaney will be pitting during the caution flag. So 4 tires of fuel for the 12. Byron causing both accidents with bad blocks tonight. There are some cars on pit road, but not all of them are in the pits, so that is going to be very interesting. I have a bad feeling Blaney's going to lose a lap by pitting right now. It was an interesting situation, though, because they were pretty close to the end of the fuel run. Probably could have gone 5 to 10 more laps. Cindric's turned around in his pits. I don't know what's going on there. Matt Mills and they've got together, and yeah, the field, a lot of the field is a lap down right now. Green flag back in the air. Ryan Blaney at the tail end of the field for whatever reason. There are a lot of cars that stayed out. Some of them pit. Cody Ware with a block now on the 12 of Blaney. Massive check up, a stack up, if you will, down the backstretch into turn 3. So Blaney's a lap down, pitting under the caution for whatever reason. Another scoring error with this game. Oh, 4 wide on the front stretch. He gets squeezed into the wall by Denny Hamlin. Makes a great save into turn 1. Jam sandwich. Blaney just wants to get through this mess. You definitely tell a lot of these guys are on older tires. Blaney making more moves. Dark Crypto, welcome to the stream. Blaney trying to keep the wheel as steady as he can. 3 wide, up high. All clear except for one driver, which would be Joey Logano, who's actually in second place right in front of him. Oh, man! And how did Blaney get sideways off of that? What a save down to the inside for the 12. Drifts back up near traffic as they race around him. You would think that tag to the right rear corner panel getting into turn 3 would have turned the 22 into the wall. Instead, it turned the 12 down the track. Blaney makes an incredible save on the apron as he tries to get back going in the right direction again. 3 wide move into turn 3, and he gets back by all those drivers again. Wargiven Racing Hub, welcome to the stream. Yeah, the leaderboard on the top left is terrible, indeed. Tim Irvin, thanks for the $1.99 super chat. Number 1. He's got his foam finger. He was going nuts after that save as well. Blaney's in the wall again. It's crazy when the car turns down like that right in front of another car. It just takes the air off the front of Blaney's car as it did right there. One car's in the pit lane. That time by. Couldn't tell who it was. Larson and Busch gaining ground. Blaney gets by his teammate Logano on the outside that time. I would assume that Blaney would only be 1 lap down. He shouldn't even be 1 lap down. There's a large portion of cars that are being lapped or are lapped down. We have cars entering the pit lane. 1 minute. Oh my goodness, somebody nearly wrecked on the front stretch or came to a stop right in front of Blaney. As we were looking at the carnage entering pit lane, where there was one car that missed the pit lane and went through the grass. Missed the commitment lane, I should say, and went into the grass to get to pit road. I don't know if they're going to get penalized for that or not. They should, but knowing this game, I have no clue. And while looking down at that, there were 3 cars that practically stalled or ran out of gas or something on the front stretch. And Blaney just missed to the outside, and he got loose just trying to avoid him. And he's back inside the top 10 now, up to 6th place. Eric Jones in 5th, right in front of him. Kyle Busch right behind him, still on the track. Blaney back in, well, I should say, for the first time today, Blaney is now in the top 5. Again, I have no clue what's going on right now. Exactly. Gotta get this win. I have not won on a mile and a half on a 100% race of this game. And this has been a wild first stage. Blaney now to 4th. He's not as fast with the damage from that caution back on lap, what, 5? The first caution of the race back on lap 5. Not the second one. The second one, that was all Byron. Byron was also the starter and was also involved in the first one. Not sure if he's still on the track or not. I really like this Blaney scheme as well. Should probably get this throwback diecast. Still more cars leaving the pit lane. Kyle Larson just took the lead away from Kyle Busch. I'm guessing that Ryan Blaney is on the lead lap, but he would be the last car in the lead lap, knowing that he's not that far in front of both Larson and Busch, who battle for the lead, only a second behind him. So if we were going to see our third caution of the race, it'd probably have to be right now. For the 12 of Blaney. Blaney did win the last race at Phoenix. It was a 50% race, but he was able to get his second win of the season. Of course, he also won the Daytona 500. Kevin Harvick has won the only 2 mile-and-a-half races this year at both Homestead and Las Vegas, and the lone road course win went to Michael McDowell at Daytona. We'll try to alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in the race today, and I say try because there's a lot of damage on the front bumper, but why not make it more interesting in this opening stage? Blaney's in good position to get stage points. The only problem is Larson's in second, and he's the points leader, so he's not going to gain on him. But again, if you could finish in the top 10 of the regular season standings at the end of the regular season, playoff points are awarded to you, depending on what position you finish in. If you finish, say, second, Larson pulls away, he wins it by a landslide, then you look back to, say if Blaney finishes second, he's still going to get 9 points. Eight for third, 7 for fourth, all the way back to 1 for 10th, just like the stages would go, except for the fact that the winner in the regular season standings, instead of getting 10 points like they would in a stage, they would get 15 playoff points. Brad Keselowski in 5th is about 4 seconds behind the 12 car. Not sure if he's 1 or 2 laps down, though. You can't really see out of the right side of the car too well. Good thing it's an oval and not a road course, because the left side's all clear, so Blaney can see there, as you see in the dash cam. Go to the cockpit cam next. Blaney's actually pulling away from both Busch and Larson. I think a lot of it is because they're battling each other. Yeah, they are. They're side by side for the lead right now. Battling for that stage win. So much potential, but yet it's so broken. I'd agree with you 100% on that comment. There is hope. Is the game that bad? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But somehow Blaney's in 4th. He finished 3rd and 1st in the 2 stages in the last mile-and-a-half race 2 races ago at Las Vegas. He also had a stage win in the last race at Phoenix. He won stage 2 before going on to win the race. He didn't get any stage points though in stage 1. He only drove up to about 17th after starting at the rear, and with it being a 50% race, kind of just ran out of time trying to get there. Yeah, I wouldn't bother buying it. He's over. Now, for the drivers that did pit after the restart, I think they can make it on fuel to the end of the stage. I think they stayed out a few laps long enough. I don't think Ryan Blaney can make it, but he's staying out as long as he can, hoping for a caution, just in case. I mean, we have seen 2 cautions already in the first stage. But how about that, after getting involved in that lap 5 accident, he actually has a chance to get some stage points after all, and a decent amount of them at that. It's possible, I guess, Tim. Not out of the possibilities. Santiago Kid, welcome to the stream. Yes, I did get into the wall. I was involved in an accident on lap 5, or I should say Blaney was involved in an accident on lap 5. William Byron threw a bad block when he tried to make it 3 wide to the outside on the front stretch. Put both Byron, who kind of got T-boned, into the wall, and then Blaney just got sandwiched between the wall and Byron, giving the damage to the 12 car. Then Byron went for a single car spin, bringing out the second caution of the race as well. About 50 laps after the fact. Yes, cautions are still broken. Even before we saw pit stops, about 5 to 10 laps after the caution flag, probably closer to 5 laps after the caution flag, we were lapped down for whatever reason. We pitted during the caution flag. Some drivers pit, but not everybody pit. As you saw, there were drivers that stayed out, but we were able to cycle back to 4th place because not everybody pit. And then they ended up pitting during the caution flag, but we shouldn't have gone a lap down leading to that. So that is why Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, the leaders, are only a couple seconds behind us while we're in 4th place. We got ahead of them on the restart. We're just trying to hold our ground to the end of the opening stage so that way we can restart back with them, hopefully, come stage 2. Blaney on the bottom, makes a pass on Anthony Alfredo. Now on the 15 of James Davison, and clean air once again into turns 1 and 2. Joshua Rumsey, welcome to the stream. Already 10 likes on the stream as well, and it's only stage 1. We're on pace for over 30 likes tonight. I think we can do it. 500-mile race. We'll see. Alex Bowman now up to 5th, so he got around Brad Keselowski. It seemed to be at least a few laps ago. He's also gotten around both Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch for the meantime, which means he's back on the lead lap. Even having those 5-lap fresher tires again at a track like Atlanta, or at least old Atlanta, which is what this track is, even though it doesn't look like it, it still has a rough and tumble surface. Now the 48's at 5th, he's still on the track. It was literally the 24, the 1, and the 12 that were involved in the first caution. Byron had a spin on his own into turn 3. I don't think anybody else was collected during the second caution. Again, I kind of wonder if Byron's still in the race or not. Haven't seen him since. Larson back in the lead. He was able to lap Keselowski and Bowman again, and also Keselowski gets back around Bowman for position. The good news is Blaney's had a lot of clean air since a few laps after the restart when we saw those green flag pit stops. So the handling of the car is still pretty good. He's been going full throttle all around this track, even over 20 laps into this green flag run. Again, he will have to pit before the end of the stage, but he's really trying to stay out as long as he can before that. Just in case we get a caution. Don't listen to the crew chief. We can go much further on fuel than what he's saying. He did this like 25 to 30 laps into the race, too. Where we got to that second caution, he was telling us to pit every lap. Even though we were only like halfway through the fuel run. Adding to the brokenness of this game. We've seen this issue plenty of times on the channel, and I'm sure we'll see it plenty more because we still have 30 more races left on this final season after this one today. Our next race of this custom schedule, or sorry, not custom schedule. The next race of this season, though, will be at Dirt Bristol, and that will be race number 7, and that will also be on Saturday night. Saturday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Bristol Motor Speedway. On dirt, nonetheless. Blaney's 3 seconds ahead of Larson. Might come down to Blaney and Larson like it did in real life. Hence the thumbnail. The spring Atlanta race. Not a very hot Atlanta event today, 79 degrees. And the overcast skies. Mild temperatures. Also probably adding to the grip level of why Blaney's able to go full throttle even this far into the run with the clean air on this older surface. Honestly, this car, despite the damage, is still handling really well. At least in clean air. It's pretty tight and dirty air, but in clean air, even with the damage, it's a little bit slower. That might actually be helping the mid-corner speed. Maybe the added benefit of being able to run full throttle because of how much slower this car is down the straightaway compared to everybody else with the damage. $80 degrees for you. Man, lucky you. It was like 26 where I live today. Super windy though. The wind chill was in the teens. But it is February in Northwest Ohio, so what could you expect? Better than having a near foot of snow on the ground like I had last week. Blaney in the wall off the exit of turn 2. Still trying to go full throttle. Fortunate not to blow a tire. Third time he's gotten into the wall now in the first 85 laps, and that's not counting at least the wreck he was involved in back on lap 5. 3 times since then. And complex damage is on for every race this season. I can't get over that, like, saw ringing noise when you're on the throttle in this game. It's so annoying. Chainsaw cutting through some plywood. It's like the car does not sound like that. There's no way. It's probably just obnoxiously loud in the sense that it just rumbles. It's constant, but it's not like that. It's so much higher pitch in this game. It's not as bad on any other camera angle, but when you're on the cockpit cam or the dash cam, it's pretty bad. Blaney lightly grazed the wall off the exit of turn 2 again. I don't think he's going to be able to go full throttle through turns 1 and 2 anymore. A little sharper exit to the corner, which I think is causing the issue, considering he's on pretty old race tires. Lap 90 this time by. Maybe Blaney can make it on field to the end of the stage. Is it worth the risk, though? You'd hate to pit and then they make it. You're just going to be trapped a couple laps down. That's the big difference here. Do you want to risk it and finish 4th in the stage? Or the benefit of finishing 4th on the stage and on the lead lap, or if you pit and they make it, they meaning Larson, Kyle Busch, and then whoever's in 3rd, then you're probably going to finish outside the top 10 by the time you cycle all the way back, considering he's been on older tires compared to everybody that has pit for a little while now. So you're going to be a couple laps down, you're going to be well outside the top 10, and you're probably going to get trapped there to the end of the race. I think if Blaney sees Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson pit, I think he's going to have to pit in suit. Only 14 laps to go right now in the stage. Sounds like a Hoover, yeah, like a vacuum. It does sound like a vacuum. That's another good comparison. Fire in Sycamore. Oh, a Sycamore fire in California. Like the tree? Hopefully it's not too big. Alright, well that scares me a little bit because crew chief just telling Ryan Blaney he's low on fuel, and that was before he hit the start-finish line. Again, 50 to 54 laps is the window. One car just came out of the pits that last lap. I think Ryan Blaney has to pit. He'll stay out one more lap, and he'll pit the following time by. Comes Austin Dillon, Denny Hamlin in hot pursuit behind the 12 of Blaney. Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson side by side for position. Oof. Blaney nearly got turned by Denny Hamlin, who got to that right rear corner panel Blaney going up the track a little tight later in the run. Lets Hamlin and Dillon go. Barely keeps it off the outside wall, lifting at the last second even. Wedge adjustment coming up right now for Ryan Blaney in the 12. It'll be a 4-tire stop. 10 laps to go in stage number 1 when he comes out of the pit lane. But here comes the stop. 45 miles an hour is the pit road speed limit. It'll easily get down in time. Not going to repair any damage during this pit stop, but 4 tires and fuel. And again, a round of wedge coming out of the car to try and help loosen it up for the longer run. Just a tad. Well, I probably should have went a half round just to be safe. But he was also in clean air most of that fuel run. Jared Boiler, welcome to the stream. Yeah, so Blaney easily outside the top 10 again. He will go likely 2 laps down. He's 1 down now. The leaders, Larson and Busch, should be coming. There they are. So 2 laps down for Ryan Blaney. On these fresh tires, can he at least get 1 lap back before the end of the stage is going to be a big, big question. It's going to be tough. He's quite a ways back. But we'll see. There's definitely a massive tire advantage. And Larson and Busch could end up pitting. Very good possibility they'll pit. Blaney getting up to speed. Down to the inside on Bell and Newman. Heading into turn 1. Drifting to the outside. Purposely, not because he got tight and dirty air. Just gets there on the 43 of Eric Jones. Going to squeeze 3 wide up the middle now. Blaney is going for broke to the end of the stage. He's back inside the top 20. And he's just hoping that Busch and Larson have to pit to the end of the stage as well. Because that would get Blaney back on the lead lap. I don't know what position he'd be in. I don't know if he'd have a chance at stage points still. Very interesting situation here. And the fact that he is 2 laps down, we're getting to lap 99 this time. It would technically be lap 101 at the start-finish line, so we've only got 5 laps to go in the stage. Pit road closes with 2 to go in the stage. Once the leader hits 2 laps to go. There was 1 car in the pits that last time by in turns 1 and 2. Couldn't tell who it was. And Blaney making ground. Busch slides up. Blaney to the bottom. Elliott is in 9th. Well, there's Kyle Busch in the pits. And I wonder if Larson already came in. Larson scored an 8th right now. There's Larson. So Larson had a fast stop considering Blaney's closing in on him. Larson's still trying to get up to speed in the 5 car. I don't think Blaney's got enough time to get to him, though. Oh, I'm going to have to plug my controller in at the stage break. Blaney's up to 15th. Well, this is a bummer then. If he can't get around Larson, he's going to be a lap down at least at the end of the stage, but he's probably looking like he's going to be 2 down. Because there are still 4 cars ahead of Larson. Maybe 1. I don't know. I wish there was a way of telling how many laps down we're going to be. At least 1. Maybe 2. Oh, we got more cars pitting, though. Hang on. Byron's in the pits. Larson's back to 3rd. Keselowski for position, so Blaney up to 14. Blaney might get back inside the top 10. It's going to be tough to tell. This is going to be so close. I don't think he's got the speed to catch Kyle Larson because Larson pitted a couple laps after him, so that's a little bit fresher tires for the 5. He's going to have to get held up in lap traffic pretty heavily here. Blaney's going to want a chance to catch him. Car feels fine after that wedge adjustment, by the way, for the 12 as well. couple more spots gained Blaney to 12th. There are cars side by side in front of Larson. The problem is there enough time for Blaney to get to the 5? And Larson just blows by him into turns 3 and 4. I don't think so. What a fast stop by the 5. Probably 3. I mean, he was like 2 seconds behind Blaney when he pit. And he pitted a few laps after Blaney. That's just insane. '11th place, and actually Tyler Reddick is in 10th. So Blaney could get inside the top 10. I believe this is the final corner in the stage. This time by Blaney going to shoot the gap 3 wide to the bottom, and he's up to 10. So he'll at least get 1 stage point. Larson just passed his teammate Alex Bowman on the final lap of the stage. So Kyle Larson will win stage 1, Bowman second. Blaney will get 1 point for finishing 10th, but he will be 1 lap down to the end of the stage. So everybody did have to pit a second time there right at the end. You saw drivers pitting. But Kyle Larson cycles back to the lead. Elijah Dewar, welcome to the stream. For real, seems like the spring race. Yeah. Blaney and Larson. We may portray it out to be that way. We'll have to wait and see. But stage 1 in the books. Kyle Larson will win stage 1. Getting himself, I believe, his 3rd stage win of the season. Let me check just to make sure. Yep. 3rd stage win of the year. Still searching for that first race win of the season. In real life, he had 1 win up to this point, which would have been at Vegas. Alright, let me take a picture. And then we'll get on to stage number 2. By the way, to go back to that neck tattoo comment, I would not get a neck tattoo. I can't even talk. Neck tattoo. At least Blaney got 1 point. And Blaney will pit during the stage break. Even if it's just a couple lap fresher tires, that will make enough of a difference, you would think. So 4 tires and fuel. For Ryan Blaney in the 12, they'll go to work and repair a little bit more damage while they're at it. Still from that lap 5 caution. Unfortunately, though, the 12 team had a slow pit stop. They couldn't get back on the lead lap at the end of the stage. So he's going to have to try to race his way around, hence is why he's pitting for fresh tires right now. Yep, controller going on the charger right as you mentioned something. I was on it. Didn't even have to pause it. Would you suggest less tape for stage 3 at Pocono if you're having an overheating issue? I mean, the tape's not going to really do much in handling. Might give you more straightaway speed as long as you don't overheat. Green flag back in the air. Stage 2 underway. There you see Larson at the front of the field. Look at Blaney jumping 3 wide to the inside off the restart. Blaney got launched pretty well. Definitely the best restart he's had so far. That stage break was our 3rd caution of the day. So 2 for incident, and then the stage break bringing out a yellow. Blaney going to try to get back on the lead lap. Is the hope. He's got just a couple lap fresher tires in the 5 and the 18. Remember also that he had that round of wedge taken out of the car during that green flag stop towards the end of stage 1. Look at Larson almost squeezing that car in the middle. I believe is Kevin Harvick. So Harvick, Busch, Larson battling for the lead. Keselowski trying to get his lap back. And then Ryan Blaney from behind is trying to close in as well on a few lap fresher tires. Remember, he's got damage, so even with a few lap fresher tires, it's tough for him to close. And that's at Atlanta. Tells you how much damage he's got. But he was able to get at least 1 stage point. A little block on Elliott for entering into turns 1 and 2. Nick Hightower, welcome to the stream. Yes, this game is really bad. This is like the 3rd person down in the chat that's asked if this game's really that bad. Yes, it is. I'll triple down on that statement tonight. I'll quadruple down if we get another question about it. Even on these little bit fresher tires, Blaney's still getting worked around right now. Just got to hold his line, really be patient. Byron clip the apron getting into turns 3 and 4 as he's trying to get around the 17 of Chris Buescher. Blaney to the bottom. Gonna block Truex. He really didn't want to be 3 wide. Buescher trying to pinch the 12. There's contact. Gotta be careful. Both cars keep control off the exit of turn 4 even with the contact. Luckily enough. Elliott just took the line away at Ryan Blaney that time. Blaney lifted to let him back in. Buescher's actually in 4th right now. Elliott in 5th. Byron was for position on Blaney, dropping the 12 back to 12. Blaney is hoping that the long run speed's going to be there. He definitely doesn't have the short run speed with this setup change towards the end of the stage, but he's got good long run speed. Big run down to the bottom of the 17 of Buescher, trying to get back around him in turns 1 and 2, and he does slide back up in front. Elliott to the inside of Byron. Byron and Blaney have made contact with each other a couple times already in this race. Blaney brushes the wall, and that's going to cut some momentum down into turn 3. Couldn't get the car to rotate on entry with Byron and Elliott right in front of him. He's done that a few times already in this race, and he did it again. Kevin Harvick leads for the first time today at Atlanta. Larson and Busch were side by side for second. Blaney into turns 3 and 4, riding in line behind the 17 of Chris Buescher. Little bump draft off the exit of turn 4, trying to get that 17 car rolling on the front stretch. Byron pulls on the line to try and make a move on Elliott. Byron all the way down to the apron. Blaney getting a little tight. All over the back of the 17. Byron on the bottom. 3 wide for the race lead into turn 3. Larson almost gets into the 18 as Harvick holds on to the race lead for the moment. I drink espresso. No, I don't have espresso in my coffee. Why are you saying that? For the energy levels I bring to the stream every night? Doing these full races? No, I don't. Not really a big coffee drinker as it is. I'll have Starbucks every now and then. I actually did last night if you saw that during the stream, but notice that. That's what I was drinking during the stream. Every now and then I have it, but not very often. I don't drink coffee in the mornings or anything like that. 3 wide pass to the bottom. Blaney clears both Elliott and Buescher on the front stretch. Trying to get his lap back to at least give himself a fighting chance come the final stage. And I think he's getting a little bit better on this longer run, but the way the leaders are swapping the lead back and forth, it's also helping the 12 of Blaney make his way through. 3 wide for second. Larson up the middle. Contact between Larson and Keselowski. Harvick back to third. And now Kyle Busch is back in the race lead. Oh, having problems taking off. Gotcha. Some of that's just the game, though, too. It's not worth putting tape on it at that big of a racetrack. With the straightaways. Maybe on a short track it would help. Putting a little bit of extra tape on it. That would be about it. And he going 3 wide under Harvick and Keselowski. Into turns 1 and 2. Blaney had to chop the apron off a little bit just to give himself enough room to clear Harvick in the middle of the corner. Blaney holds on to it, making that pass. Dives underneath the 2 of Keselowski. That's for position. Battle for 10th right now between the Penske cars. Blaney not quite clear yet. Now he'll clear and throw a block at the start-finish line for 10. So the Kyle and Kyle show at the front of the field. Larson and Busch. Lap car Matt Mills will be coming up here in about another lap or 2 as well. Blaney just trying to run down those cars in front of him. It's going Going to be pretty equal pit strategy in this stage, you would have to think. I mean, you could consider a two-stop strategy versus a one-stop strategy. I don't know if that's going to be enough to actually get him back on the lead lap or not. And Blaney had a slow pit stop in stage 1. Run from behind from Kevin Harvick, nowhere to go with it into turn 3. Busch and Larson were able to get around the lap car of Matt Mills pretty quickly. Blaney's going to hope he can do the same in turns 3 and 4. He'll go to the outside with Mills on the bottom. Harvick going to go high as well. Oh, Mills pulled up right in front of Harvick off the exit of turn 2, so that will give Blaney a little bit more breathing room. And actually allows Chris Buescher now to move up to third, passing Harvick and staying in front of Chase Elliott. Elliott also gets around Harvick into turn 3, and Harvick, in a matter of about 5 laps, has fallen from first to fifth. Larson to the inside of Busch for the lead, side by side into turns 1 and 2. And the more they can run side by side, Blaney may have a chance to catch him there. They side draft each other down the backstretch. Blaney's hoping they can keep that battle up. Still side by side into turn 3. Who will have the advantage? Right now, it's still dead even off of turn 4. Oh, you got flipped at Pocono? What is it, the 90s? I haven't seen a flip at Pocono in the Cup Series in eons. Well, Larson and Busch are still side by side, and Blaney's closing into turn 3. Close enough to be in the dirty air that time around. They're still side by side. They are slowing each other up big time. And here comes the 12 into turn 1, all the way to the outside, 3 wide. This is going to be an aggressive move from the 12 to try and get back on the lead lap. They know he's up there. 3 wide for the lead with the 2 leaders on the bottom, and the last car on the lead lap now right in front of him as he clears and throws the block in the middle of 3 and 4. Blaney has raced his way back to the lead lap. And Larson and Busch are still side by side for the lead. The rest of that pack slowly catching up behind him. That's what Blaney needed. He needed those two to get side by side. They were for about 3 consecutive laps. It still are. And Blaney's pulling them now. Just a bit, at least. It'll be interesting, though, if they get single file back out, if they'll run the 12 back down. For right now, though, it's working out for Ryan Blaney. I don't think he just desperately get a caution. What, the last flip at Pocono? No, they've had a couple since then. Davey Allison flipped in 92. Steve Park flipped in, was it 2000 or 2001? It might have been 2002. Somewhere in there. 2001, 2002, 2000, somewhere around there he flipped at Pocono also. Bought F1 2020 for the PS4. Well, hopefully you enjoy it. Yeah, that game's definitely had some good reviews. I haven't played it personally myself, but heard some great things from it, so I'm sure you'll have fun with it. I'm not big enough of an F1 fan to go out and buy it. Don't have the time. Chase Elliott now battling with both Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson for the lead. The Kyle and Kyle show is about to be broken up. They've been side by side for every bit of close to 10 laps now. Really allowed Blaney to pull away on this longer run. 23 laps to start stage 2 now. Casey Kane. Well, Casey Kane got airborne. That was in 2008 or 9. I think it was in 09. He didn't actually flip, though. He got up in the air. He kind of came back down on all four. He didn't rotate over. Caught the trees on the backstretch before they put the catch fence up there. They were sitting in the short chute between turns 3 and 4. Big run for the 12 of Blaney. Getting by the lap cars of Cindric and Gase. Way up the track in 1 and 2. He got out of the gas and was still drifting up the track, and into the wall he goes. Meanwhile, at the front, Denny Hamlin's just taking the lead away from his teammate Kyle Busch. First time Hamlin's led today, and Blaney loses a little bit of momentum. Getting into the wall. Goes from only about 4 seconds ahead of those guys now to 2 seconds ahead. I don't know how Blaney got that tight. That was very interesting. On the outside to try and get some clean air so he can still go full throttle. Cuts down to the bottom 3 wide on the backstretch. He'll be clear into turn 3. So now he can arc the corner out like normal. Yeah, I think WWE 2K22 is probably going to be the next game I get for as far as like current games that have been getting released. I think this is Eric Almirola just coming out of the pit lane up ahead as well. That pack's catching Blaney though. They're getting a little bit more strung apart. They're not running side by side with each other anymore since catching the lap traffic. And Ryan Blaney, also after getting in the wall, was a couple extra seconds ahead of him, and now he's not. Matt Mills and Almirola on fresh tires behind the 12. Now with Blaney pitting at the stage break, can he actually stretch it to make it on one stop? Maybe that's the game plan here. Because everybody else, I'm pretty sure they're going to have to pit twice because they didn't pit at the stage break. They pitted anywhere between 5 to 10 laps before it. Again, 50 to 54 laps is the window. He would have to go about 52 and 53 laps to make it on fuel in the stage. It's possible. Got into the lefter of Mills. 12 gets sideways. Stayed in the gas though and just kind of drove right out of it. And no stability help or traction control on for the 550 tracks. Tomorrow night's live stream on the channel will be back on NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005. We had a wild finish last night, a fuel mileage race at Rockingham in the Busch Series. We'll have race number 5 of our Busch Series custom schedule season coming up, and it will be at the Talladega Super Speedway for the Aaron's 312. A 117-lap, 312-mile event. Our coverage begins at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Friday night action with a full race. Live commentary, live stream once again. Biffle's undefeated streak came to an end last night in the 4th race of the season. He ended up finishing 3rd. Dale Jr. was able to get the win with Kyle Busch a very close 2nd. And last lap pass, in fact, for Dale Jr. on Kyle Busch in turns 3 and 4 coming to the checker. So pretty good finish on top of the fuel mileage race itself. Biffle just never had the speed to compete with those guys. He only led 6 laps. It was in the middle of green flag pit stops earlier in the race with about 80 to go. It's the only laps he led in the entire race. Props to Chris Buescher, though, for running in the top 5 all night long. Still in 2nd. Blaney's in 10th. It's where he finished at the end of stage 1, but he was a lap down. Right now he's on the lead lap, but he's the last car in the lead lap. He's lifting off turn 2 just enough to keep it off the wall. That was a close one. Even taking that rounded wedge out of the car's still getting tight with this damage. Just over 30 laps into the run, that's even with clean air. I don't think he wants to make another adjustment, at least on this next stop. A little risky. He's going to start lifting a little bit, at least in turns 1 and 2 right now. See, he's catching some more lap cars going 2 and 3 wide up there. Battling each other pretty hard. Michael Turner, welcome to the stream. VIP Race Car, welcome to the stream. Oh, you're talking about like a custom schedule season on this game? No. I actually already did. That was the very first season I did, and then when I rolled into the career mode, I originally planning on doing 4 seasons of the career mode, but I lost all my progress. The last big patch that came out like 3 weeks ago deleted my career mode for whatever reason. And I didn't want to start it all over again because we were almost a full season in. All statistics were gone. Everything was just gone with it, so I called it quits with it. We've had enough. I've had enough issues with this game that have prolonged live streams, that have cut live streams short, that have delayed live streams multiple days because of glitches we've been having with the game. And I've pretty much kind of drew the line after that, so once we get to the end of this season, which I plan on running anyway, regardless of what happened to the career mode, then I'll be done with it. As far as video game content goes, you guys will see, you know, a lot more of the classic games until NASCAR 22 comes out. And a lot more real-life NASCAR coverage, as you saw this last weekend of the Busch Clash and then the Busch Clash highlights. We go into a lot of races again this year. Went to 11 last year. I'll be at 11 again this year, starting with Daytona for Speed Weeks. Be having coverage for every race there, so not too much video game coverage here coming up. Again, this channel, I don't like to consider it a video game channel. I know I you know, do live commentary for the video games, but it's the commentary itself and live, you know, the real NASCAR coverage that not only I personally like the most, but what I'd like the channel to be known for. So I definitely want to start doing more of that while it's still incorporating these races and stuff on the side. Austin Dillon now has worked his way up to the lead. Haven't seen him in the top 5 at all yet today. And now he's leading the race, passing both Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott. I know Buescher and Harvick and Larson are towards the front of the field. Michigan-Ohio State game is a terrible rivalry. What? Are they a Michigan State fan? I feel like only Michigan State fans would say that. I feel like SEC fans would probably say that too. I feel like SEC and the Big Ten have a big rivalry. I feel like a lot of people here in the Midwest, like, everybody hates the SEC or top SEC schools. I feel like that's the same way for any SEC fans or fans of an SEC team, that they're probably like, oh yeah, it's screwed, the Big Ten. The good old North versus South. Haven't agreed on topics for over a couple hundred years. I don't think it's going to start now. On the outside, in the wall again. Turns 1 and 2. And he tried to stay high to stay in that clean air. The car feels a lot tighter in stage 2 on the long run than what it did in stage 1. So he had to lift in turns 3 and 4 again as well. A big run. Goes high into turns 1 and 2. It's tough though. This dirty air, the lap traffic's holding him up. Oh, Blaney nearly turned Quinn Houff. Getting into the back of him definitely slowed the 12 down. And the leaders are only about a half a second behind Ryan Blaney all of a sudden. This is not good for the 12 of Blaney. Oh, and Dylan's going to go to the outside and try to put Blaney a lap down. Blaney gets squeezed on the bottom by Josh Balicki. Little room for error all of a sudden. Down to the bottom to block Elliott. Big time block into turn 3. Barely clear. Blaney desperately trying to hold on to the lead lap. Chase Elliott made a pass for the lead on the backstretch on Austin Dillon. He was trying to put Blaney a lap down in one fell swoop. Just failed to do so. Gigantic run. With no rearview mirror, Blaney really had to just guess the block. And it's a good thing he didn't wait any longer to throw the block. Otherwise, he probably would have been into that inside retaining wall on the backstretch. Glitches in this season? Yeah, actually, we got costed a win the last mile and a half race at Las Vegas. The lights turned on as it went to night, even though it wasn't supposed to be a night race. In the final stage with about 90 laps to go while we were leading. Blew a right front tire because of it, ended up finishing 29th. After we won stage 2, finished 3rd in stage 1, just ran top 5 all night. Led a lot of laps, over 100 at least. And to have that just go right out the window like that. The lights, essentially what happened was the lights turned on. The game kind of went from black to light, back to black, and I was in the middle of turns 3 and 4 when it happened. My car was in the wall all of a sudden, and I didn't have any control over it. And when I hit the wall, I blew a tire. Unfortunately. Cerebral Assassin, welcome to the stream. That's definitely been the major one. And, whoa, hey, we've got a caution. Caution is out. At a very interesting time in this stage, to say the least. Blaney will pit. And that makes that block on Elliott a little bit ago even bigger, because now, all of a sudden, Ryan Blaney is back on the lead lap. 4 tires and fuel, no adjustments coming for the 12. And we'll see if anybody else pits. I'm sure a lot of other cars that are in the pit lane also are. 4th caution of the day if you count the stage breaks as well. And we had a scoring glitch under the 2nd caution of the race. This is caution number 4. We'll see. Hopefully we don't get another scoring glitch. Blaney got put a lap down in the first place because of the first one. Now he should be back on the lead lap after this one. Green flag back in the air at Atlanta. Blaney had a pretty good launch on the restart. We go 3 wide to the outside. Pretty big run going. Big move down to the bottom. He got it in the back of Custer a little bit, so it stalled his run out to the inside. Blaney making a gutsy move 3 wide to the bottom into turn 3. Gets a little loose. No! Up the track he goes, hard into the wall. And his night is going to come to an end. Oh my goodness. That did not work out at all. You hate to see it. Ware didn't give him a lot of room on entry. He was trying to hold it. You can, if you go back and watch it, Blaney's left side tires had kind of clipped that yellow painted line on the inside, and he bobbled just enough up the track because of it. Got into Houff, into the wall, and that knocks him out of the race. Just a slight bobble is all it took. with no traction control and no steering assist on, the game punishes you for getting just that much out of shape. It wasn't much. I mean, you could see there was a little wiggle, and that's all it took for him to go up the track, and because he was 3 wide, that also made even smaller room for error as it was. And that will end Ryan Blaney's race, unfortunately. That would be the 5th caution. 6 if we end up getting the end of the stage. So 6 cautions in tonight's race. That's unfortunate. Right when he got back on the lead lap. And now we're going to have to simulate the rest of this. I can't even pause it. Guys, I can't even pause it. Oh, wait. Oh, we got another caution? What's going on? So we're going to have to simulate the rest of it. Now, we didn't get to the end of stage 2, so what's going to happen here is whatever the results are to this race, will also be the stage 2 results. So unfortunately for Ryan Blaney, he only gets 1 stage point tonight, which was a 10th place finish in stage 1. Right when we got back on the lead lap. Now, whether we had the lead lap or not, well, I will say that although that accident was my fault in the sense that I took the dive, you know, I knew that that was a risk, and I was willing to take it, and it did not pay off. So in that essence, it was my fault. What wasn't my fault was the fact that I was in 10th place on the restart. I was in 10th place on the restart, but yet I was back in the pack. Why? I was on the lead lap. Skip all this. We'll get our finishing results one way or another. There's a good chance we're going to have a 4th different winner this season. Unless Kevin Harvick goes on to win. I guess he was up towards the front for quite a bit, led some laps. Larson and Busch probably the favorites. Well, Ryan Blaney will finish last. 7 more laps to finish it up here. I'll just run in last place. Billy Kramer, welcome to the stream. That stinks. I mean, glitches aside, it was a fun race. But obviously there were so many glaring glitches in this one that did diminish it for sure. Yeah, when I ran the custom schedule season, I didn't have that issue with the Coke 600. And then the career mode, I had a separate glitch, if I remember right. Like 25 laps left. Game crashed on me after caution came out. I just have to keep the cautions on for the sake of a real race. I know a lot of NASCAR YouTubers that do play this game seem to turn them off. I don't want to do that. There's a speed glitch going on right now. I thought they had that fixed. Luckily, I'm not racing anybody. I'm purposely staying in last because I DNF'd. We'll get 2 race points. 1 for finishing 10th in stage 1, and then 1 for finishing last. Interested to see the finishing results still, though. 4 more laps. Well, the good news is we go back to NASCAR 05 again tomorrow night. And it will be at Talladega for the Busch Series, so... Well, Super Speedway restrictor plate race, and then we'll have another restrictor plate race on Sunday. 2 of them, in fact, with the Daytona Duels starting at noon Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, and then at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Sunday, our Daytona 500 on NASCAR 05. Our next NASCAR 21 Ignition live stream will be Saturday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Dirt Bristol. 250 lap race there. That will be the full race. We'll hope for better luck, and maybe Ryan Blaney could go out and get his third win of the season. maybe have some better luck potentially as well. We'll wait and see. Glitched me out of a good race. Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, we wrecked pretty hard. I know there's not actual DNFs in this game. What it did was it disqualified me, and then the game kind of glitched after the fact. But, you know, honestly, that hard of a hit, DQ, even though it counts as like a disqualification, it was a hard enough hit. We should have DNF'd out of it. I'm not blaming the wreck itself. If there was one thing to blame out of that, was the fact I was restarting back in the pack when I should have been in 10th. Which I was in 10th. It was scoring me in 10th. But it still restarted me at the back of the pack instead of at the front, even though I was on the lead lap when the caution came out anyway. It wasn't like I got the free pass. Free passes don't even work in this game. I know that for a fact, so it's kind of interesting. Well, Ryan Blaney going to finish dead last here. And we'll check out the finishing results regardless of the fact. We'll see who won tonight's race. And our race winner will be Brad Keselowski, winning at Atlanta. I think his third career win in the spring race here. So Brad Keselowski will go on to win. Alex Bowman finishes second. Bubba Wallace third. Matt DiBenedetto fourth. BJ McLeod rounds out the top five. Randomized finishing order, to say the least. Daniel Suarez 6th, Joey Logano 7th, Michael McDowell 8th, Cody Ware 9th, and Kyle Busch rounds out the top 10. Now, Keselowski was in the top 5 early in the race, and he was kind of running top 10 the whole race, so it wasn't like it was a complete wild card winner. Bowman did finish second in stage 1 also, so he had a fast car, was probably deserving of the top 5 also. Maybe wouldn't have expected those guys, or at least Keselowski to win, but at least it didn't go to somebody completely random at the same time, so... Keselowski now in the playoffs is the 4th different winner and now the first 6 races of the season. 3rd win for Penske this year, 2 for Blaney, 1 for Keselowski. Waiting on Logano to win a race now. Take a picture of the finishing results so I can take the points. Is that our first DNF of the season? Now that I think about it. No, the second DNF of the year for Ryan Blaney. I forgot the Daytona Road Course. We ran out of fuel with like 18 laps left. So it's our second DNF of the year. Oh, well. It happens. Sometimes you just crash out from time to time, you know? Not the first time. You can hope it'll be the last, but it probably won't be. Did we get halfway through the race? I believe we did. So I don't think we're going to do any trivia tonight. Maybe we didn't get halfway. Lap 156 to 325. That's like exactly halfway. Almost exactly. Didn't you DNF? No, we finished the race at Vegas. I finished 29th, but we still finished the race. Like 3 laps down or whatever it was after we blew that tire at the game glitch. Mile and a halfs. Again, we run good. What, Homestead? I didn't win a stage at Homestead, but I do remember finishing top 5 in one of the stages. And then we had a poor finish. Las Vegas, we won a stage, and we finished second in stage 1, or third in stage 1. Ran top 3 all night, led over 100 laps. Game glitch. The lights turned on in what was supposed to be a day race. It wasn't even supposed to be a night race. And then this one. We just got involved in an accident halfway through on a restart. I knew the consequences of trying to make that dive bomb move 3 wide, and I just wiggled a little bit when I jumped down to the bottom Kind of flatlined it just a bit too tight. Oh, I really couldn't go any wider on entry into the corner because when I was passing Cody Ware, he moved down to throw a block and I kind of stayed low and he kept it off of me, but him making that move, I couldn't kind of arc the corner off a little bit more. So because I entered so flat, that's why the left side tires are on that painted yellow line, and I wiggled just a little bit, and that was enough to make the car go right. Couldn't catch it, and because we were 3 wide when I couldn't catch it, there was just no chance. DNF at Daytona Road Course, Homestead, and disqualification. I count it as a DNF, though. Like, it says disqualification, it's a DNF. There's no disqualifications for spinning out and crashing. That doesn't make any sense. Like, if the big one happens at Daytona, let's say in the 500 this year, big one happens, somebody that happened to be in the middle of the wreck, do they disqualify him? No. If you just can't compete to the end of the race because your car's severely damaged, you don't finish the race. They don't disqualify you. It doesn't make any sense. Just like they don't make you a lap down for cutting a corner on a road course. That's another thing this game gets wrong with penalties. Penalties are so harsh in this game. Alex Moment finished second. Santiago kid. So, yeah, we were at lap 156. I think that's just shy of halfway if I do my math right. Let's see here. Yeah, it's just shy of halfway. We're about 7 laps shy of the halfway mark. Oh well, it happens. I guess we'll do some trivia. Very briefly though, we'll just do 2 quizzes tonight. I was close to halfway, but I wasn't quite there, so I'll do some trivia tonight to at least make the stream just a tad longer. I'm not gonna stay up too late because I still have to work out tonight and I have to work tomorrow. So, but I'll do 2 quizzes. You'll see a black screen here for a second, then you'll see like a million screens. Display capture. Let's have some Daytona 500 quizzes. I mean, we got the Daytona 500 next week. Let's do some Daytona 500 quizzes. We haven't done any quizzes in a while. I don't know why my camera's like this tonight. Try to wipe the lens off or something. There we go. It was like kind of pale white there for a second. It was discolored. And good old Sporkle. Hopefully you guys are excited for that. Gonna have to turn the chat on my phone. 2 quizzes. Oh yeah, that's the point standings. It's not organized, but I do have it. Uh, 16 likes on the stream also, so definitely smash that like button. I think we had a chance at 30 if we could have made it to the end of the race. I don't know why I had caps on there. Sporkle! I was yelling it into the search bar. Let's go Daytona 500. We've done a few of these quizzes, so I'll try to find one that's different. We'll do 2 quizzes tonight, though. Just 2. Means we were close to halfway. Weren't quite there. Alright. Winning sponsors. That's an interesting one. It's only from... all-time lap leaders. We've done that. Winning cars. Top qualifiers. Top 4 starters. Oh, this is only... it doesn't go up to now, though. It stops at 2014. Otherwise, I would do that one. NASCAR drivers to start a Daytona 500, 1990 to 2019. That is a mighty long list. Front row winners. Runner-ups. Let's do that one. Let's go Daytona 500 runner-ups. Nobody remembers who finishes second. We have 18 minutes or 63 for the 63 years of the 500. This is going to be an interesting one. Like, some of these I can remember. Oh, it gives you the car number, though. I don't like that. That makes it too easy. Yeah, that makes it too easy. I don't want to do this. I was going to do it, but yeah, I mean, the car numbers. I thought we were going to have to do it based off of, like, memory. It's just a little too easy. I'll find a different one. I like that quiz, too. I mean, he finished second at the end of stage 1 in our race tonight, so. Fitting he finished second in the race. Also stage 2, I guess, technically, also. So good points day for Bowman on the season. Name the drivers who won their first NASCAR Cup Series race in the 500. That's a little too easy also. Winners by celebration. Broadcasters. Name the events that occurred in the 500. 6 minutes is 26. So you just have to name the answers. Alright. So we only have 6 minutes, so it's going to be kind of quick. Youngest driver to win the 500 would be Trevor Bayne. Who won the first Daytona 500? Good old Lee Petty. Who won the 50th 500? That was Ryan Newman in 2008. First woman to race in the 500, I would assume, would be Janet Guthrie, right? Yep, Janet Guthrie. 2.5 mile super speedway. What is the degree of banking in the corners? Is it 33? No. 32, 31. 31 degrees. That was close. How many times has a track been repaved? From 59 to like 78 or 79. I think it was 79. And then from 79 to like 2010. So twice it's been repaved. Wait. Does that count the very first repave? Like, does that count the actual track? No, repaved. So it was paved once at 59, so it's not counting that. So it should be 2. Yeah, okay. Who was the first driver to take advantage of drafting? That could have been anybody. I'm going to say Darrell Waltrip, though, only because I feel like he... Okay, that's not right. Petty. That's a dumb question. I feel like some other drivers would have done it, but they didn't say it because it was supposed to be like a secret in the garage. Allison. How are you supposed to know that question? We're skipping it. Who holds the qualifying record at Daytona? Good old Bill Elliott. What year did he set the record? Oh, jeez. It was before restrictor play, so I'm going to say 87. Yep, 1987. What was the make and model of his car? Oh, jeez. Was it a Thunderbird? Oh, yeah, alright, it was. What part did NASCAR make every team put on the car? Restrictor plate. Restrictor plate. Who's won the most Daytona 500s? Richard Petty. What team Trevor Bayne raced for? Wood Brothers. Okay, Wood's fine. What were the Wood Brothers What were the Wood brothers at the 2010? What does that even mean? What were the Wood brothers 2010 500? What were they? What do you mean, what were they? A team? Race team? I don't understand that question. You guys will have to help me in the chat. I don't understand that question. What did Robert Junior Johnson... I should have just said Junior Johnson. What did Junior Johnson do at the 2010 500? Was he the pace car driver? Drive pace car. I don't know. I don't know what Junior Johnson did in the 2010 500. He mooned the infield or something? I don't know. I don't know what he did. Oh, wait a minute. 2010. He, did he fill the pothole? Fill pothole. I'm going to say track worker. I don't know. These are not even actual, like, race questions. Who won the closest finish in the Daytona 500? Denny Hamlin. What? Are they counting Petty? The first one? Hang on. Denny Hamlin won the closest Daytona 500. What year is this quiz? I don't like that. Oh, it's Kevin Harvick because... So, yeah, hang on. I'm stopping this because this quiz is too old. This quiz is not up to modern time. Because it even showed the margin of victory was 21 thousandths of a second, and I know the answer to that question was the 2016 race, which was 10 one-thousandths of a second. Denny Hamlin won that race. So that's probably why I was getting the Junior Johnson question wrong, too. For one, I didn't understand it. For two, but we'll find a different one. That quiz is a little outdated. Maybe that's why I was getting some of the questions wrong. It took until most of the way through it to figure it out, but... Name every NASCAR driver that ran the number 7 in the Daytona. That's such a random one. Yeah, I put Lee Petty in there second. I even know there wasn't like any timing and scoring. I know it's a little bit older, but I do like that one quiz that was the top 4. It only went up to 2014. But what the heck? Top 4 starters in the 500. So this would be the dual race winners for that year, as well as the 2 drivers that started on the front row. I don't think that's counting if they had to drop to the rear. We'll do this one for fun. I'm not counting that first quiz because it was outdated. I guess 2 outdated quiz make up 1 quiz, so we'll do one more after this, because this one is outdated also. Gosh, I don't even remember a lot of these, to be completely honest. Like, the dual races at Daytona. Those are, like, some of the more forgettable races, just because they're not points races, so you don't remember them. We'll try it, though. Earnhardt won a bunch of them. Senior, at least. Junior did as well. Jeff Gordon. I know Jeff Burton won one. Mike Skinner won a couple. Jimmy Johnson's won some. Harvick. Stewart's won a few. Kurt Busch. Danica Patrick started on the pole in 2013. I don't think Biffle won one. But he did start on the pole in 2004, though. I honestly did not know that, but... the more you know. 2010 poles. Matt Kenseth probably has to be on here. Kenseth's on here. Again, you guys can help down in the chat. Just don't look the answers up. 2007. Mark Martin's got to be on here somewhere. 2010, Martin started on the pole. I do remember that now that I see it on here. Didn't Gilliland... Yeah, okay, I was going to say, I thought David Gilliland started on the pole one year. I couldn't remember what year it was. It was 2007. I don't know why I remembered that, but good for me. Michael Waltrip's probably on here somewhere. Oh, yeah, he's on here a bunch. I was going to say, I know he's won at least one dual race. Jarrett. Yeah, Dale Jarrett started pole 2000. Started on the pole and won that race. 2001. Was it Casey Atwood on the front row? Bill Elliott was on the pole. Who was outside of the front row? It was another Evernham car. 91 or 92. Who was in that car? Oh my goodness. Guys, who was on the outside of the front row in 2001? Drove for Evernham. It wasn't Mayfield. It was like the 91 or... But it wasn't Casey Atwood. Oh my gosh. The name's like right on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it though. Wasn't Casey Atwood. I'll have to skip it and come back when the name pops in my head. Is Carl Edwards on here? I think he won a dual race before. Qualified on the pole in 2012. What about the Rocket Man, Ryan Newman? Nope. Sadler? Okay, Elliott Sadler won a dual race in 06. Outside front row in 04. 2008. Dual race number 2 winner in 08. Bubba Wallace? Rusty Wallace is probably on here. No, Wallace is not on here. Chase Elliott's not on here. Why did I put Bubba Wallace? It only goes up to 2014. Yeah, it only goes up to 2014. That was dumb of me. That's why I ignored the Chase Elliott answer. Rusty Wallace could have been on here, though. Sterling Marlin's got to be on here. Oh, yeah. That 2001 race, though, is... make me a little upset because I know the answer, but I'm having a brain fart. Ernie Irvin is on here. Labonte's probably got to be on here. Petty. Pearson. Yarborough. Pete Hamilton. Bobby Isaac. I don't know why 2014 is not ringing a bell either. Who was on the pole in the 2014 500? Matt Kenseth won dual race number 1. Oh, Clint Boyer won the 2010 dual race, I believe. No, he didn't. All right, never mind. I thought I had that one right. 2001. I know it's either the 91 or I think it was a 91. But it was an Evernham car. And I knew it was a young driver. I was thinking it was Casey Atwood, but it wasn't Atwood. That one's really bothering me, to be completely honest. 2007. I don't think I put McMurray on here yet. No, he's a good super speedway racer. David Reagan's not 2014. Yeah, Dale Jr. I already have on the list. Allison Baker. How do you spell Leroy Arborough? I always forget how to spell his last name. It's different from Kale. Oh, it's W-A. That's why. No, wait a minute. Yeah, I am spelling it right. Must not be on here. I do have Jared and Baker. Some other names from the 80s and 90s I need. Morgan Shepherd on here. Yep, Morgan Shepherd is on the list. $1994 pole sitter. Bonnet's probably on this list somewhere. Yep. Okay. $2003 pole sitter. Actually, okay, Jeff Bodine. Schrader on here? Yep, Ken Schrader's on here. Schrader was a pole sitter 3 years in a row. 88, 89, and 90. That's an interesting trivia fact. Knew he was good at Daytona. He's led a lot of laps. Never won it, though. I do have Darrell Waltrip also. Both Waltrips. He's having a massive brain fart. Especially 2001. That's... I feel like I should have the 2003 pole sitter, too. Vickers isn't on here. Truex. Truex is... Okay, so Truex was on the pole in 2009. Still need the 2014 pole sitter, 2003, outside front row in 2000, 2001. I think Johnny Benson's on the list. Nope. Tried Larson for 2014. That didn't work. I didn't think so. It was a Hendrick driver, though, right? Casey Kane, 2010. Dual winner. Ricky Rudd's probably on here. Yep. Okay, Ricky Rudd was the 83 pole sitter. He was outside front row in 2000. Tim Richmond on here? Nope, Tim Richmond wasn't on here. (2014, 2003). I feel like I know the. Well, I shouldn't. I feel like I should know the 2014 one. Just trying to think of modern drivers I haven't even named yet. Also trying to think if they had group qualifying for that race. I don't think they had it at that time yet. I was thinking it was a Hendrick driver, but it wasn't one of the Hendrick boys. Stewart, Harvick. Bush, Kenseth. Edwards, Kane, Gordon, Earnhardt, Johnson, Truex, Martin, Waltrip, Savage, Jarrett, Robbie Gordon, Marlin. Thank you for the Benny Parsons. Spell his name right. I forgot about Benny. Whoops. You reminded me. (2014) pole sitter. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank now. Got less than 60 seconds and we'll find out one way or another. I just feel like I could have gotten nearly all of these guys, honestly. There's probably someone from the 70s. There's probably a Hall of Famer I've forgotten to name for some reason. I think my mind's just out of it tonight. I do have the Allisons. Wait a minute, Mayfield. Oh, he's not on here at all. Yeah, 2001, I know it. Guessing. Wasn't Atwood. Wasn't Shane Meal. Who was it in 01? Stacey Compton. That's who it was. I thought I put Denny Hamlin on here already. He was 2008 dual winner. I forgot about Loy Allen qualifying on the pole in 1994. I know I've remembered that for other quizzes, and I just forgot about this one. I think I named like all the pole winners of the Cup Series, or had to, and that was one I remembered, but I didn't remember it tonight. Steve Grisham, outside front row in 1997 Daytona 500. I did not know that. Congratulations to him. I do remember now that I see it that Jeff Green in the 43 car was on the pole. I think he was in the 43 when he did that. Maybe he was in the 30 for RCR. Either way, Jeff Green was on the pole in 2003. Hamlin won his duel. I could have swore I had Denny Hamlin on here. Austin Dillon, that's right. Austin Dillon was on the pole in 2014. Honestly forgot about that. That's one I probably should have remembered. I still think I put Hamlin in there, though. Forgot about Harry Gant. AJ Foyt. Jeez. Foyt was on here 4 times. He's a pole sitter in 71. Outside front row in 72. Dual winner in 78. Outside front row 77. I didn't realize AJ Foyt ran the 500 that many times. I know he only won it once, but honestly, yeah, I had no clue he ran it that many. Dave Marcus. Ramos Stott was on the pole in 76. Charlie Glotzback. I don't think I would have really guessed those guys, to be completely honest. Terry Ryan outside front row in 76. Ron Hutcherson. Those are guys I probably wouldn't have named. Honestly, though, I was thinking of Stacy Compton. I just couldn't think of his name. I knew it was the 91 car outside front row in 2001. Missed it. Yep, that means I DNF'd on ignition. Exactly. Exactly what Sporkle means. One more quiz tonight. One more quiz. Another Daytona 500 one with the 500 being next week. The winning sponsors one would be interesting. It's only 5 minutes, though. It gives you the driver. You have to name the sponsor. If I do this one, then I guess I do one more after, only because it's 5 minutes. I was expecting this to be a little bit longer of a quiz. Our Loves last year. FedEx for Hamlin. Bass Pro Shops. Oh, Bass Pro for Jamie Mack. Dale Jr. was National Guard, I believe, in 2014. Kurt Busch would have been Haas. Austin Dillon, that was Dow. Logano was Shell. So it was Harvick in 07. Newman was, was that AT&T at that point, or was it still Altel? It was Altel, okay. Kenseth was DeWalt in 2009. And then it was Best Buy in 2012. Jimmy Johnson would have been Lowe's. Jeff Gordon, DuPont. Michael Waltrip was Napa. Dale Jr. would have been Budweiser. Trevor Bayne, Motorcraft. Ward Burton was Caterpillar. It's making me spell Caterpillar. How do you spell Caterpillar? Hang on, we have to pause it. Alright. How do you spell Caterpillar? Caterpillar. Oh, it's Catter. So it's like Caterpillar. Dale Jarrett, 2000 would have been Quality Care, right? Yep. Interstate Batteries on his first one. Okay, Interstate Batteries. Marlin was Kodak. As well as Ernie Irvin. Davey Allison was Texaco. How do you spell Texaco? Or was it Haviland? It was Haviland, okay. Good wrench for Dale Sr. Derek Cope. It was Wickham Racing. What was the sponsor? Hang on. STP for Petty. Bill Elliott. Was it Hooters? No. I can think of the paint schemes for a lot of these old cars. Darrell Waltrip was Gatorade. Oh no, Bobby Allison was Gatorade. Darrell Waltrip was Tide. The original Tide ride. I can't remember. Honestly, cannot remember Bill Elliott's sponsor at 85 and 87. I can think of the paint scheme. It was red. Oh, it's Coors. Okay, got it. Never mind, I remembered. I was having a brain fart. Derek Cope, though. What was that? Think of the paint scheme again. Wickham Racing. What was their sponsor? Oh. Just for clarification, I was born 9 years after this, so. We've gotten all the ones I've been around to see. Alive enough to see. We're back to 1990. Bobby Allison. I honestly have no clue what his... I mean, Gatorade was one of his sponsors. I don't know what the other one was. Kelly Arbro. What was Benny Parsons sponsored? If David Pearson's sponsor wasn't Motorcraft, then what was it on the 21 car way back when? Was it just the team name? Yeah, I don't know. Like Petty wasn't STP in 1971. What was it? It's Petty Blue. Anytime I think of Petty Blue, I think of STP, but it wasn't on his car in 71. I would have thought it would have been on Pete Hamilton's car in 70 as well, but it wasn't. We're out of time anyway. Wow, okay, well, okay, so some of these, I don't even know what they are. Derek Cope was Purolator. I don't think I would have guessed that. The Miller High Life machine for Bobby Allison. I should have known that. Hardee's for Kelly Yarbrough. I should have probably known that too. Levi Garrett for Jeff Bodine. Norse Industries for Bobby Allison's 1978 winner. Yeah, I don't know. Holly Farms for Kelly Yarbrough's 77 winner. Purolator again in 76 for Pearson. That was before Motorcraft. Kings Row Fireplace for Benny Parsons. That was his sponsor. Purolator for AJ Foyt. So they went to victory lane with 3 different drivers. One of them was Derek Cope. And AJ Foyt. Who would have thought you could name Derek Cope and AJ Foyt in the same sentence for 2 different things? Both Daytona 500 winners. Both had Purolator as their sponsor while winning the Daytona 500. Like 18 years apart from one another, too. Southern Chrysler Plymouth for Richard Petty. So it was probably just blank. And 7-Up for Pete Hamilton. I did not know 7-Up sponsored Pete Hamilton. You learn something new every day. Average score. I forgot to check the average score in the last quiz. I don't know if we got the average score now. I guess I can go back and check. I think. We did get the average score on this one. 77%. Average was 67. Hardee's is good. Yes, it is. Let's see if I can go back and check the score of... I can't. Let me, I can't give up. Oh, there we go. The average score is 78% on the... What the heck? That's... I didn't want to read that ad. A lot of ads on this website, I will say. I don't know if that was like a homeless person on there, or... I didn't look long enough. If it was asking me to donate, don't make me look out to be as like a jerk or something. Alright, Anytime McDonald's asks, I donate every time. Always donate to help the needy. Even if it's like 70 cents to round up. Always round up. I did get Napa. Yeah, I did get most of those. Alright, one more quiz. Beans, that was a short one. This is it. This is the final quiz of the night. Then I gotta get to working out here before I go to bed. So... There's some of them... I think I want to go back. I've never gone back and did one I already did. And I'm thinking I want to do that just to see if I could get 100% the second time through. Now, it's been a while since we've done this quiz. This is Daytona 500 top 5 finishers. And I think this was like one of the very first quizzes I did on the channel. Let's see in 12 minutes if we can name them all. It's only said 72, so it's not counting the first 13 Daytona 500. So it's from 1972 to now, which is the modern era. Top 5. Let's see. I know we've done this before. We've done hundreds of quizzes. We haven't done hundreds. I mean, we've probably only done this like maybe 10 times. And we only really do like, I don't know, 4 to 6 quizzes every time. We've probably done about 50 of them. But I don't think I've ever gone back and did the same one. At least not intentionally. So let's try this. We got 12 minutes. Let's just go with the winners right out of the gate. McDowell. Hamlin. Harvick. Gordon. Johnson. Dillon. Busch. Earnhardt. Burton. Marlin. Jarrett. Waltrip. I just put Labonte in there randomly too. I didn't mean to do that. Kenseth. Newman. McMurray. Bain. Having a brain fart with 2015. Come on, Keegan. Why am I having a brain fart with 2015? Logano. I don't know why that one was so hard. Allison. Cope. Hamilton. Parsons. Oh, jeez. Oh, Hamilton was before, that was 70, not 72. Voigt. Petty. Pearson. Alright, got Waltrip. Wallace never won one, but have him on here. Was Larson top 5? Larson never finished top 5. Bowman, I don't think he ever finished top 5 either. We're getting off track here. Naming the winners here first. $1991. What am I? Ernie Irvan. Have almost all the winners. Elliott. Bodine. 1980 and 1975 winner. Well, we were just looking at it. Yeah, I was just doing the winners just to get them out of the way first. As long as we don't spend too much time on them, of course. 80 and 75 winners. I'll wait and come back. Blaney. Truex. 2020. Third, fourth. Well, hang on. I know Tony Stewart's on here. He didn't win. I mean, we pretty much got all the other winners. Vickers is not on here. I know Scott Riggs is on here. Mayfield is on here. Paul Menard on here? Yeah, Paul Menard's on here. Keselowski's probably on here. I don't think Chastain's on here. Nope. I didn't think so. Stenhouse, he's a good super speedway racer. Stenhouse is not on here. Priest has had some good finishes. I'm reaching now. Don't need to be reaching right now. It's still a little early. We're already over 5 minutes into this thing. This is flying by a lot quicker than what I thought it would. Edwards never won one, so I know I haven't named him yet. Byron's not on the list. Casey Kane I haven't named yet. Kane never finished in the top 5 in the Daytona 500. That's insane. Elliott Sadler. How has Casey Kane never finished top 5 in the Daytona 5? Like, it's hard, like, to win the race, but he never even finished top 5 once. That's insane. Reddick is not on the list. A lot of third place finishers from like 09 to 2020 I don't have. A lot of them. Casey Mears in 06 finished runner-up. Montoya, is he on here? Montoya is not on here. Sorensen's on here, 2008. Is Gilliland on here? David Gilliland in 2011. We are missing a lot of big names, I'm sure. Quaffle? Quaffle's not on here. Jimmy Spencer. Wow, Jimmy Spencer's not on here. He has a couple wins on super speedways. Yeah, Ricky Craven's got to be on here. 1997. Oh, Schrader. Skinner. Okay, we're going places now. Steve Park on here? Nope, he's not on here. Ricky Rudd. I do have Bobby Labonte on here. 2020 finished third. So it's like, was LaJoie in the top 5? I know he was close. Nope. It's like Newman flipped, and you just don't remember who finished like 3rd and 4th in that race. Harvick had a top 5 in that one. You just remember Newman flipping at the end, Hamlin and Blaney finishing 1-2, but you don't remember like any of the other top finishers. Was Buescher up there? Yep, Chris Buescher was 3rd. He was also 5th in 2018. Yeah, but, I mean, they might finish towards the front, but not like top 5. Like, they might get back half of the top 10 like McLeod did last year. He finished like 9th or 10th, Haley, but top 5 is a little bit harder to do. I mean, even Casey Kane never had a top 5 in the 500. We found that out tonight. Mark Martin. I thought I put Martin on here already, but I guess I didn't. I noticed that I had 2nd in 2007 missing still. 1999 finished 3rd. I feel like I know that one. I haven't put Cool Wiki in yet. I know that wasn't the answer, but runner-up in 92. Morgan Shepherd. See, 2009 was tough because it was rain shortened. Kenseth won. I really don't remember the top finishers outside of that. Sadler was 5th. Harvick was 2nd. I haven't put Boyer on the list yet. He's probably on here. Yep, Boyer 4th in 2010 and 2009. 2017 was a fuel mileage race. I'm trying to remember who was in that single file line at the end. I remember Kurt Busch winning, Blaney being 2nd, and Larson leading on the last lap and running out of gas. Allmendinger is probably on here. That's a good one. Yep, Allmendinger 3rd in 2017 and 2009. I do have Kenseth. DiBenedetto? Yeah, he's ran well on the 500. I just don't remember him actually finishing those races. Guess he didn't. David Reagan. Yeah, Reagan 4th in 2020. Another one popped up when I put his name in. I didn't see what year, though. I got 2 for Reagan, though. Mike Wallace finished 4th in 2007. I don't remember that. David Reagan was 5th in 2007. "45 seconds. We're still 49 away. I came nowhere close. 2009. Jones. 1, 2, 3 for Gibbs. 2017 Ford. Mears. Biffle was in 2012 and 2010. Almost forgot about the Biff. That would have been a bad one. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I thought I should have done a little bit better. I hope I had above average. I feel like I did the first time I did this quiz. We were still 46 off. Okay, well, we crushed the average score. I was honestly thinking I could have done better than 82%, though. 82%. Eric Almirola was 4th in 2017. He's a good super speedway racer. I don't know why I didn't put him. David Rudiman was 5th in 2010. Good for David Rudiman. Ted Musgrave in 1995 finished in 4th. Kenny Irwin Jr. finished 3rd in 99. Scott Wimmer in 04 finished 3rd. I remember that, but I forgot to put it in. I was looking at the years there at the end. There wasn't many in the century. There was only 3 in the entire century I missed since 2000. Hut Strickland was 4th in 93. Dick Trickle 5th in 92. Joe Ruttman, Rick Mass 3rd and 4th in 91. I thought I put Benny Parsons in here. I could have swore I had Benny Parsons. Why do I always forget about Buddy Baker? I feel like I forget about Buddy Baker on like every quiz we do. Not every quiz, but a lot of quizzes. Neil Bonnet, yeah. Well, that would have been better than 82% if I would have had those two. I could have swore I put Benny Parsons in, though. When I was naming all the winners. Missed some big names. I figured that. Ramo Stott, James Hilton. Jim Vandiver. Oh, whoa. I was reading there. Dick Brooks, Bobby Isaac, Charlie Glotzback. We had him in the last quiz. Ron Hutchinson, we also had him in the last quiz. I think that's all the ones I missed. Yeah, definitely should have done better. I thought I had Benny Parsons. For my thought, I thought I put Benny Parsons in here. Maybe I spelled it wrong by accident because I was just typing quick. So it didn't count it. Yeah, I missed a big name. At least we crushed the average score. It's a good way to go out on the night. I just realized my PS4 has been on this whole time. There we go. Now I turned it off. Whoops. Oh, well. At least I was able to charge my controller battery for Saturday night stream when we run Dirt Bristol. Alright, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed some trivia tonight after our DNF at Atlanta in our NASCAR 21 Ignition live stream tonight. Our next live stream will be tomorrow night at the Talladega Super Speedway on NASCAR 21 Ignition. Or, sorry, not NASCAR 20. NASCAR 2005 Chase for the Cup at Talladega. Busch Series racing there. And we will be live at 6 Eastern Standard Time. So that will be tomorrow night's stream. Get a good start to your weekend with some restrictor plate racing in the road to Daytona. We will be just down to single-digit days until the 500 when tomorrow hits. When tomorrow hits, we will be 9 days away from the Daytona 500 on our countdown. Unbelievable. We only got a few more streams left for a while. I'll be at Daytona, then I'll be at Auto Club. We'll have a lot of content on the channel, but we won't be streaming too often here coming up soon, so you won't want to miss any of the action this weekend. A lot of fun. 3 very, very fun. Well, 4, I guess. 4 very fun streams. Tomorrow we got the Busch Series at Talladega, NASCAR 05 at 6. At 6 on Saturday night, back to NASCAR 21 Ignition, but it will be at Dirt Bristol, so that should be a fun one. And then back to NASCAR 05 for the Cup Series, our Daytona 500 on Sunday afternoon. We also have our dual race that same Sunday earlier on in the day, so a doubleheader on Sunday for the action on the channel as well. So a big weekend with the live streams, with the realistic commentary. Again, no actual race this weekend like there was last weekend, so that's why Sunday is back to the video game stuff again this weekend. But it will be a big one, our Daytona 500 before the actual Daytona 500 next week, so the following week. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Catch you next time.